This story just to show, really the sort of, in an effort that everybody make in order to bring unity, to the country. And what you are doing, certainly from, the briefing you've just, given to me, and then your invitation. One certainly, well, I have no choice but to sort of accept it, and, to accept it, and to, to really further might be, well, that's why he wants to say something before, before, yes. But I can assure you, I will certainly, well, it's only a few days to go, isn't it?
That's why we're glad that you offered us.
Yeah, that's right. That is, how many days now? Nearly about 10 days?
Yes, about 10 days.
About 10 days.
Yes,
yeah, my goodness. Okay. So thank you very much indeed for your invitation, and to say well done for the sort of thing that you've been doing, and the group that you met in order to make sure that, everybody keep the country together. I can assure you, sometimes I get so worried when you hear divergent views, people thinking of either breaking away again or doing this, well, especially when election comes, when various parties make certain demand in order to get people to make sure that they do things that is in their own particular interest. So I would say thank you very much indeed for all the effort you are making in order to really ensure that people believe in Nigeria. I can assure you, to me, when I hear people saying that, oh, Nigeria is not is only a geographical this thing, and people talking, not thinking of uniting the country and making sure that everyone is able to feel that he belongs to the country. Well, those who say that they do not believe that Nigeria is a nation, do they want to go out and be, to be a nation somewhere, or are they trying to create a nation in a place that they do not recognize? So I think, to me, really, I'm a believer in Nigeria. I was born a Nigerian, although in a small place somewhere in the plateau. I grew up somewhere in Zaria, a mission place in Zaria. And my first working place was in Ibadan, and the next one, of course, was to be in Lagos, to ensure that we defend democracy, because unfortunately, when I was coming back from a course in 1965, 31st of January 65, from Liverpool, sailing from Liverpool, coming into Nigeria. I don't know why. When people knew that I was a military man, I was being asked a question: do you think that a coup can take place in Nigeria? Why are you asking me that question? I didn't know anything when I left for my course. I was only going for a course. I left the country as Adjutant General of the Nigerian Army, on a course. And as far as I'm concerned, that is my nation. A coup, as Adjutant General of the Nigerian Army, you telling me that there will be a coup? Of course. I said, that is a nonsense. That was a nonsense. And but the various people that asked me that question, Nigerians, British, Ghanaians, Sierra Leoneans, etc., I don't know why they were asking me that question. I didn't know anything. When I left, there was no thought of anything of the sort. And then, by the time we got to Accra, I remember that is about 12 days. There was famine. There were some 3 coups in Central and West Africa. Central and West Africa, and one of them in Nigeria. I don't know whether it was Togo or I think Ouagadougou. I think Upper Volta then, Upper Volta, and of course some people, especially the Nigerians that are now left on the ship, asked me, well. Now, what about now? All I can say, I said, my goodness gracious me, it is too close home for comfort. But however, I said, but however, let me say this. If such a thing happens in Nigeria, I hope the few loyal ones of us will deal with the situation and return the status quo. 36 hours, after that, honestly, it happened. And all my colleagues from the same school, etc., from the same school, all of them, were killed. I was the only one that survived. And so that was how, I found myself in this. But honestly, we were responsible for ensuring that things came to order, especially in Lagos, even though in Kaduna that was a different story, until later on, of course, when the others. But my idea was that that if such a thing happens in Nigeria, I hope the few loyal ones of us will deal with the situation and return the status quo. What is that? That means return the government before. But later on, of course, when the GOC, General Ironsi, had a discussion with Orizu, with Orizu. Yes, that was, Orizu and probably they said Ramp of Parliament. That was when, the authority was given to Ironsi to take over charge until he can restore discipline and loyalty. Now, I was not there when that was done, but when we were coming, both of us at that time, I don't know how, both of us were coming. He was coming from seeing Orizu. I was coming back from my security round to make sure that things are all right, that the GOC was in charge. At the police force headquarters in Moloney Street in Lagos. That's near Obalende. Yes, so that was where. So he told me. He said, "Well, he's just come back saying the acting president. Well, and he's given him the authority to take charge until he can restore discipline." So I asked, all the other officers that were with him, went with him, and 3 times, and they said yes. So as far as I'm concerned, question of returning to status quo is not. It is now been given to the military. So of course I said to him, now you have my double loyalty as my GOC, and now as my commander-in-chief and head of state. So from that, I always say that I didn't take over the government. It was not, bless you. Do you want some water? I say, okay. Well, you know, and so that was how it all happened. So, you know, I would say that no, you know, I'm only, you know, carrying out, ensuring that the country remain, you know, together, and that there will be no more coup, and making sure that we deal with that particular problem. But of course, as you know, how things developed, and we got ourselves into all the various problems that we have in the country, which really bleeds in one. And you know, so all the effort that you are making is trying to make sure that you put things right, put things back right, you know, for the good of the country, for the good of each and every one of us. So I say, well done to all of you. And you know, I really accept your invitation.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Alacrity.
Thank you, Your Excellency.
Yes.
Thank you so much, sir.
I'm sure Mr. President will direct someone to give us a vote of thanks.
Yes, sir.
No, what